world of commodities that needs to be addressed. All sinking and wiping out almost this year's gains. Vandana Hari, analyst at Vanda Insights, now joins in. Vandana, great to have you with us on the show. Let's talk about the kind of rout that we're witnessing in the crude oil markets as the fall continues for the fifth straight day. Give us a sense as to what you think would be one of the key prevailing factors to this decline. Do you think that largely it would be attributed to the way the dollar is moving?
Hi, good afternoon. So we saw crude was off its four-year highs at the start of this month, but not that big a pullback as we have witnessed since the financial markets turmoil began on the 2nd of February. The past 5 sessions in a row, crude has been declining. It's not a correction yet, technically speaking. Crude is down about 8% from its the peak, 4-year peak that we saw earlier in January. The crude has not lost as much as the equity markets have. But nonetheless, the slide that we have seen and continue to see as of today, in today's session as well, is, I would say, very directly linked to the vortex in the financial markets. It has just simply dragged all the commodities, including crude, along with it. At some point, crude will need to go back to tracking the fundamentals, and I think those fundamentals still remain strong. Yes, there is a little bit of a question mark right now over U.S. production growth, some very bullish figures that came out from the Energy Administration of the U.S. earlier this week. But overall, supply-demand fundamentals, I think, do remain strong. It will take a while, I believe, until this financial market storm dies down for crude to go back to looking to fundamentals.
Okay. Vandana, what's your sense as to where, what will be now some of the key triggers or some of the key factors that could influence the crude oil prices? Because OPEC has successfully shrunk the brimming crude stockpiles. They partnered with Russia and other suppliers as well to limit the supply. What exactly do you believe will be now some of the factors that will influence the crude oil prices going forward?
So there have been 3 key factors that have been supporting the rally in crude prices that not just in this year, pretty much started towards the end of 2017. One of them is, of course, the OPEC, non-OPEC cuts. I think that is now a given. I don't see any nasty surprises on that front. Those OPEC member countries and the collaborators in non-OPEC are expected to stay the course, continue removing. They have pledged to remove about 1.72 million barrels per day, removing a little bit less than that, but nonetheless a big mop-up operation going on there, which will continue till the end of this year. The second supporting factor was demand. Demand growth came in pretty strong, surprised to the upside in 2017, and simply given that the world economy is expected to do even better this year than last year, the assumption is, and I would say a safe assumption so far, that good, strong economic growth will keep the momentum in oil demand growth going this year as well. So that's been supporting prices. All those 2 factors, I think, remain in place for now. The third major factor is U.S. production growth. Now, that's been discounted by the market to a large extent. The EIA's optimistic scenarios are being discounted as well. The EIA is now projecting more than 1 million barrels per day increase in 2018 production from the U.S. That is, I think, is a little bit of, should we call it, an unknown factor right now in the market. It will, because WTI prices have substantially gone up since last year. So will the shale sector continue with the same pace of growth, as a moderate pace of growth of 2017, or will they come back in a big way and U.S. production and raise U.S. production indeed by more than 1 million barrels per day? If that happens, there is a chance that it could considerably slow down the rebalancing that's been going on in the market because of the OPEC, non-OPEC cuts.
Right, Vandana, thank you so much for explaining us what's happening in the oil space, and that's an interesting and development story.